I think you
Now
should do a
talk
part
about
2 because
what
you missed
special
out on the
effects
gameplay bland.
and
I think you should do a part 2 because you also
gameplay.
missed... Stop! Okay. Specialist. Let's talk about it. So the specialist debate, definitely one of the biggest things going down in the Battlefield community right now. And today we're going to get right into it, explaining the pros and cons of specialists, and wrapping it up by going through some potential solutions. Now before we get right into this one, I am giving away a Logitech G Pro X Superlight over on my Twitter. I love this mouse, it's my daily driver, and if you want to win one, I'll link the post below. Anyways, as a lot of you know, 2042 has gotten rid of the old class system from previous Battlefield games. Gone are the Assault, Engineer, Support, and Recon classes. Instead, we now have Specialists, which are individual characters each having their own unique abilities. With the goal of maximizing the sandbox, DICE has went ahead and allowed any Specialist to equip any weapon and gadget. Now, while this has definitely opened up opportunities for individual play and sandbox, it also introduced a bunch of issues that DICE will likely need to address. Now in this video I have 3 key issues I want to talk about, and we're going to get right into it with the first issue, which is unpredictability. Now in previous Battlefield games, and most games in general, you can tell exactly what a player might be using just by looking at them. These examples on screen really say it all for me. This is especially important in Battlefield games when almost all of your target priority comes from a quick glance. There's definitely a skill to it, and once you get the hang of the game, you'll do it automatically. Here's a simple example from Battlefield 4. So in this freeze frame, I am aiming at an engineer. You can tell he's an engineer just by his kind of posture and how he looks in general. You can definitely tell. Now on the right of the truck there's a recon. I can tell he's a recon because he has that little antenna on his backpack. And then on the left we have a support player. You can tell he's a support from his kind of figure. He's quite large, he's a bit bulky, he has an LMG, you can definitely tell that. So basically, now I have all the information. My target priorities should be like this. I will shoot the engineer first because he has the most long range attack, rocket launcher, whatever. He's the biggest threat. Now, the support and the recon can both equip C4, so either of them are their prime targets really, but the support is slightly closer, so I should flick to the support next. And then finally, I should go for the recon. He is further away, but he can be a threat if close. Let's see what I do in this situation. So as you see, I did pretty much exactly what I said I was going to do because it's the only logical play, and as a player who has quite a lot of experience, I know exactly what to do in this situation. It all makes sense, I know what weapons everyone's going to have, it's all very predictable and nice. I actually did kill another engineer before I ended up going for the recon, because of course he is a bigger threat. Now in 2042, you can't do this at all. There's absolutely no predictability at all. You can come around a corner, you can see a ghillie suit, so a Casper, you can see a Webster McKay, and a medic, and you have no idea who can do what. They could each have rocket launchers, the Webster could grapple at you and C4 you. I don't know, there's so many different options there that there really is no target priority aside from whoever is the easiest kill, shoot at them. Now the solution for our first issue is actually really hard because I don't think that they're going to go back on the specialist system and totally revert it. I just don't see that happening, I really don't think they'll do that. So basically we have to work with what we have here, but there needs to be some better way of identifying key information about soldiers. I think the easiest way of doing this is to basically put the gadgets on the soldier somehow. So for ammo and health boxes, it doesn't really matter that much. That's not essential information. But let's say if someone has a stinger, or if someone has an RPG or a recoilless in this game, like a big rocket launcher, that should be on the back of the soldier so you can see instantly that, damn, this guy's a threat, he's AT, I've got to focus him. And then obviously when they pull out the launcher, it's already very obvious. I find that when I'm flying a helicopter in this game, I can always identify the stinger players when they have the stinger out. It's more that when they don't actually have it out, I don't know who to shoot at. So yeah, that's basically my solution there. Put the launchers on the back of the soldiers, that way you can tell. Arma 3 does this, it works really well. I've got a lot of experience in Arma 3 actually, and I've always found it really easy to identify who to shoot at depending on what weapons they have. That game just does a really good job of it. Now there are some really tricky ones like C4 for example. It'd be really hard to tell who has C4 and how to show it on a soldier. I don't think there's a great way of doing it, and I think that's just going to have to be a compromise we'll have to make. Now the next issue with specialists is the fact that without UI assistance, it's impossible to tell which team someone is on. Combined with a lackluster UI and the fact that sometimes, especially at distance, it won't even render in, and now you've actually got a bit of a problem. Another thing I could mention is that in the beta we only had a few specialists, and Webster McKay was arguably the strongest one out of them all, so everyone was playing Webster. That just makes it even worse. Everyone's playing the same character, everyone looks the same, and with the patchy UI problems, and the fact that even colorblind mode as a colorblind person myself, it didn't make it that much better. It was just a problem. And luckily I think the fix is quite easy for this. You can just make the characters look a little bit different, have different camouflage color schemes, and even go as far as, let's say, putting a helmet on the Russian character and the US character can go without a helmet. Stuff like that will make it a lot easier and hopefully reduce the problem to a very, very minimal level. Now, the place where this gets a bit tricky is EA's whole microtransaction situation. You guys already know they're going to be trying to sell skins for this game. They've been pumping out skins for all the specialists, and the whole specialist system seems like a really good way to sell skins. Add a bit more personality to each of the characters, and people might get hooked to it, buy skins, whatever. Basically just make them a ton of money. Now, this is where it gets complicated. If you were to do this system, you would have to have a separate US and Russian skin. I don't think this is very hard. I don't think it's too much to ask from them. And in my opinion, it just needs to be done. Make a separate skin for each team. Different color schemes, helmet on one team, no helmet on the other. Whatever you have to do just to make that little silhouette difference, that's going to make all the difference in game. I mean, just going back to that example I gave you guys back in BF4, that recon character with the little spiky antenna thing on his backpack, I'm not sure what it is, but as soon as I see it, even in thermal view, which is basically a silhouette, I know straight away that's a recon character. Stuff like that just makes all the difference, and when you look at hero shooters, and especially the ones that are competitively viable, look at Overwatch, look at Valorant, they've both done their silhouetting really, really well, and it makes a lot of difference in game. Now we have the final issue, which is the idea that 2042 specialists have killed off teamwork. Now this one packs the most conversation, and to start with, let's just ask ourselves, was teamwork ever that real in Battlefield anyways? I remember years and years ago, LevelCap made a video on this whole idea of teamwork only really existing for the points it creates. Basically arguing that most players will capture objectives, throw ammo, health, or spam revives, not for the teamwork they provide, but more for the points. Furthermore, he says that fundamentally the game is a casual shooter, and people will only do things they find fun. And this is just so true. I mean, take tank gunners for example. The best and most useful gunners will have great teamwork. They'll always look the opposite direction of the driver to keep an eye out for threats and rear shots. They'll repair the tank and even sacrifice their life if it means keeping that vehicle alive. Hardly anyone does any of this stuff, because it's more fun to look exactly where the driver is looking to steal his kills, and why repair when you could chill in the tank and spray down more enemies? Fact of the matter is, people are selfish and they're unlikely to do things that don't benefit them directly. So if you see it how I see it, 2042 specialists and weapon system is actually kind of neat. You can just be a one-man army without having to rely on someone who usually couldn't care less about helping you. But even now they've actually increased teamwork in vehicles by adding all these new jobs you can do aside from driving. I mean, just look at the 135-0 scout game I posted a few days ago. I had a repairman and a spotter, we're all in Discord, and we were just unstoppable. To me, that's teamwork right there. Teamwork is not spamming health boxes at a choke point just for those juicy points and ribbons. Teamwork is squatting up with your mates and using coordination and chemistry to become stronger. But if you're on that side of teamwork is real, PTFO or GTFO, whatever, if you're one of those guys, we can definitely make some improvements because teamwork is undoubtedly less prominent than it ever was. The solution to me is just buffing those teamwork gadgets in this game. Start by bringing back the ability to pick up health and ammo off teammates. Everyone loved this feature in Battlefield 5, why didn't it return? I personally don't have an issue with the revive animation either in this game, but I do think that the stim pistol could be buffed. In my opinion, it needs a charged shot that revives from a distance. I'd say that'd be really neat and it'd actually make Maria worth using. With all that said, I'd definitely like to hear what you guys think in the comments, and definitely leave a like and a comment just to help me with the YouTube algorithm. I don't really ask for this kind of stuff very often, but on these feedback type videos, I do want DICE to at least have a chance of seeing it, so hopefully we can see a better Battlefield game in the future. As always, if you did enjoy the video and you want to keep up to date with Battlefield 2042, please do not hesitate to hit that subscribe button. I'm really pushing for that 100,000 subscribers. It's an absolute dream of mine. It'd be absolutely crazy if we could hit it. It's crazy that we're in this situation anyways, but 100,000, actually not that far away. I think we can do it. Anyways, you guys all take it easy. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.